Gotta love that clock. Hi guys, welcome to Corner Homestead. Back in the kitchen again. Today we're going to make an easy, breezy, one pot corned beef and cabbage. Delicious all year round. Something that you do not need to save for St. Patrick's Day. So I have heard why I do not know that this dish is also called hobo hash. That is what my grandmother used to call it. That is what my mother used to call it. To me, it's just easy corned beef and cabbage. One pot, one spoon, 4 ingredients. Let's go. So one thing I want to explain, garden maters, about the cabbage. This is a simple head of cabbage that was purchased back in March. Every year when they go on sale in the stores for St. Patrick's Day, I buy as much of it as I possibly can, cut it into shreds, put it in the food saver bags, seal it, and freeze it. I do not blanch it ahead of time. I do not do any special preparation before it goes into the food saver bag. You take this out of the freezer, use it frozen, cook it. Perfect every time. Let's get started. Okay, so 4 ingredients for this dish. That's all there is to it. Our cabbage, which I just explained, fresh from the freezer. I'm going to be using both of these packages today, which is about 3/4 of a very large head. 2 cans of corned beef. Libby's. This is Save-A-Lot brand. Any brand you want. 2 cans, always the best. 1 very large onion. 2 sticks, butter or margarine. That's it. Let's start prepping. Okay, so the first thing that we do is add both of our sticks of butter into our pan. Both sticks in the pot. Turn on the flame. And while this is melting, we're going to cut our onion. Now, of course, when I do the onion, I don't do any special way of cutting it. You just pretty much want to do it up into the shreds. I take it, I cut it in half, and I just put it in shreds. And then we're just going to add them to our pot. Now, I won't say this dish is fast because it does take a little bit of cooking time, only because the cabbage is frozen. If you want to use fresh cabbage, that is perfectly fine. And of course, it won't take as long to cook if you use fresh cabbage. So I had a little bit extra onion that I found that was not going to last very much longer in the refrigerator, so I just went ahead and cut that up as well and placed it in here. So you can see now that all of our butter, I'm using margarine, but the margarine and all of the onions are now in here, starting to melt. Okay, so now that that is in there, we're going to go ahead, cut open So I cut open the bag of the cabbage. Like I said, it is frozen. But you're going to take it whole. Just plop it in. Very easy. Now the bigger bag. Just gonna break it in here. You don't have to worry. It will cook down, as you know. I will fix that. Get it all out of the bag. Put on the lid. So at this point in time, if you wanted to add diced potatoes, that is something else that a lot of people do like. I preferably don't make it that way. I prefer just the corned beef and the cabbage. You can put the diced potatoes in. If you were to do so, now would be the time while the cabbage is cooking. Again, if you make this using fresh cabbage, it's going to cut your cooking time down. But I always use the frozen cabbage. Have never had any problems. Always turns out great. So now we're just going to let this cook. Just let the cabbage cook down. Then we'll add the corned beef. So when you think in all these years they would have came up with a better idea on how to open these cans, besides this little stupid key. Good grief. Perfection. Okay, so it's been about a half hour. This is to the point where it's all pretty much separated. There are still some frozen bits in there, but that's okay. So now you're going to take your corned beef and dump it in. Give it a stir. This will all break down over time as well. Juices are great. You don't want to throw any of that out. That makes it the best. So now we're going to simmer for at least another 30 minutes. Okay, so it's done. This is how you want it. It'll be nice and liquidy. The corned beef is all incorporated into it. It does turn just to mush. Cabbage is done. Not too hard, not too soft. It's perfect. Turn off the fire and serve it up. So that's all there is to it, Garden Maters. So simple and easy to make. Very, very hot. Very delicious. I'm going to let this cool just a little bit. So easy. So simple. It's just delicious. What can I say? So I hope I encourage you to try the quick and easy one-pot corned beef and cabbage. Again, if you want to add the potatoes, dice them very small, add them to it at the same time you do your cabbage. That is entirely up to you, up to your individual taste. The way I prepared it today is the way that we just like it. Freeze your cabbage while it's cheap. Especially for this. It comes out perfect. There is no freezer taste. As long as you put it into the food saver bags, seal it, don't bother about blanching it, you'll have no problems when you go to use it. So again, I hope you try the recipe. Please like, subscribe. If you know someone who would benefit from this recipe as well, please feel free to share the video. Comment below if you have any questions, or if you decide to try it. I'd love to know what you think. So until next time, garden maters, whether it's from the kitchen or the garden, I love you. Take care. God bless. And I'll see you on the next video.